Yep, that's good.
Boy, he's got to come back and push another button.
Tobe just sits there.
I just got to sit here. I just got to look pretty on the broadcast.
And we got to remember to mention Keith Kauffman more, because on that last one, I don't think we said Cameron Key hardly ever. So, all right.
We're well organized here, Keith.
Are you ready?
I'm pretty close to it. I ain't found it yet, but go ahead.
All right, I'll let you.
Okay. All right, we're back at Hoagie's Garage, and we're fortunate enough to have Keith Kauffman with us tonight. How you doing tonight, Keith?
I'm doing real good.
Good. How's the weather in Pennsylvania today?
Well, it's actually pretty nice. It was in the 50s today. It was 62 yesterday, so it's pretty nice this time of year.
Well, we had close to 50 yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was great, but today's been rain and almost freezing, so it's going to get ugly here soon. So
it's winter time, so it will here too.
Yeah. It's the year's over, so it's supposed to be kind of crappy and cold around here where we live. So nothing we can do about it.
Nope, might as well just accept it.
Yep.
So
let's how we always do this, Keith. Let's just go back. What got you started in racing? Was it a family thing, or did you just love racing, or how did it all get started for you?
Well, I was a farm boy. I was born and raised on a farm, a dairy farm, and my dad was involved with Port Royal Speedway. He was one of the directors for the fair board, which actually had our county fair there. Of course, there's a racetrack here, so that's kind of how I got involved with the racetracks. I used to tag along with him and go to the races and help with the fair.
So because I did a little milking with my uncle back there, I have to ask. Everybody had pipeline after a while, and we always said we were the pipeline with Uncle Garrett, because you had to dump the machine into a pail and then into the cooler. Is that what you would have to do back then, I would assume, or?
Well, back then.
Or was it all by hand yet?
Yeah, back in the 60s where we had cans. You used to have to throw like 54 milk cans up in the back of a truck every day.
Yep.
That kept me in pretty good shape for driving them race cars.
Yeah, we didn't have to do the cans, but we had to carry it to the cooler and dump it in, so.
Yep, okay, I remember all that stuff.
Yep.
So, how old were you when you first started racing then?
Well, I was about 20 years old when I bought my first race car and got started. Wasn't much of a mechanic and didn't know anything about the race cars, but I'd raced some go-karts and quarter midgets and that kind of stuff before that, but we just kind of bought an old car myself and bought an old motor and started from scratch. It took us weeks to get the thing started, didn't even know how to get it running.
So, what, did you buy a sprint car right away, or did you have a body car?
It was like a 30 to 90, an old spring front torsion rear car that they used to run back here.
Okay.
I'm sure they make them kind of cars out there.
Yeah, you bet.
So then you got into that, and obviously things progressed and went really well for you. So how long did you run your own car then?
Well, actually, I ran my own car for the first 10 years I raced, actually.
Okay.
I bought an old car, and it was, so-so, and learned and got the thing running and figured out all that stuff, and then, I don't know, but 2 or 3 cars later, I bought a real good, real nice Travis car off of Al Hamilton that Jan Opperman had drove.
Okay. That's a name I've heard before.
Yeah, I ran that car, which was my own car. I ran that car for probably 6-7 years. So I won a lot of races in that once I got going and figured everything out. So that was a pretty good car.
Yep.
Where did you all race when you were doing this?
Well, mainly at Port Royal. I live about 5 miles away from the racetrack. And Port Royal drove Hagerstown, Susquehanna, Baps, as it's called now, all these local PA tracks, Reading, Fairgrounds, most any place in central Pennsylvania.
Okay. So, who gave you your first ride then, let's say?
My first ride was probably in the Wiker car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that would have been probably, I started in 1970, so that probably would have been around 1980 that I got a ride in the Wiker car. So
Okay.
that was a pretty deal.
Yeah, well, that's obviously where I met you, was out at the Weichert Memorial, but, so did you jump right into traveling more then, or did you stay fairly local with that yet?
No, I stayed pretty local for years, probably for another 10 years. I didn't start traveling till, probably back in the 90s, I guess, maybe. I mean, we took a couple trips with my own car when I hit that Travis car. We went to Portsmouth and won a couple Ohio Speedway races, all-star races back then, just on a couple of different weekends. But mainly the racing we did was in central PA, Fort
Okay.
Williams Road, that Susquehanna Speedway, Hagerstown, Lincoln, Selinsgrove. There's a lot of racetracks back here.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and you don't have to drive that far to get to most of them either from where you're at.
No, I think there were 7 or 8 racetracks in less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
From where I live. So it's kind of hard to go away and race much.
Absolutely. That's like,
Yeah. It don't get much better than that.
Yeah,
for a fan or a racer.
racing paradise right there. So
Well, that's why some of those guys. That's why a lot of those guys come back here years ago. Like Van May and Doug May, Stevie Smith, Bobby Allen.
Yep.
Those guys weren't from around here, and that's how they ended up back here, because you could race a lot back then.
Sure. So were you ever, like I said, we don't plan nothing out here, so we're just winging it, like we said. But
Okay.
did you like run the Outlaws for certain years or anything like that, or the All-Star circuit, or did you never really join a circuit full time?
No, I did. Daryl Fosher, I ran the Outlaw circuit for a couple of years with him, off and on, and mainly the Outlaw races. And that would have been back in the 90s. Ran the All-Star circuit back when, I don't even know what date it was, back when Frigidaire sponsored the series and paid $50,000 for the series champion back then. So I ran that for a couple of years and won a lot of All-Star races in those couple of years. So in the U2 car, that's on the car.
Okay.
And back when I ran the Outlaw deal, I ran Big Daryl's car, Daryl Fosher, number 20 car. Ran that for a few years, and even got a ride in the Ford's Extra Gold car that I guess Blaney drove it, or Hodenshield drove it right at the end of that deal when Ford's Extra Gold quit sponsoring that car.
Okay.
So I did get to run quite a few races.
Yeah. So you traveled a while, obviously, and you kept racing in PA after that, though, didn't you?
Oh yeah, off and on, yes. Yes, I kept racing back here when I couldn't find the car to run out in the circuit. I come back home here and try to dig some up and run it. But I kept racing the whole time.
Yeah.
Somewhere, so.
yeah, I think I just read that you have 18 track championships.
That's probably close, yeah.
That's a lot of track championships. Were they, a majority at Port Royal, or where were they all at?
There's like 13 at Port Royal, 2 at Williams Grove, 1 at Hagerstown, 1 at Susquehanna, 1 at Selinsgrove. So, yeah, I've won a couple of them.
That might be the understatement there, but yeah. So like when you were winning all them at the Grove, was some of that in your own car, or was that the Weichert's car, or was it a whole variety of cars?
That was back, the championship years of Williams Grove would have been in the Hamilton car, the Al Hamilton 77 car.
Okay.
That was about the same year Wolfie was back here winning 50 races. Hell, I won 30-some races, and they hardly ever heard of me. So,
You must not have got out into out into the world enough for everybody to find out about it.
No, I think I won 30-some races the first year, 30-some races the second year with Hamilton. That's when Wolfgang was winning 50, so hell, they forgot about me.
Yeah, so that pretty much accounts for all the races out that way.
There wasn't anybody else that won anything.
So I was just gonna say, if you got 80 of them between the two of you.
Yeah, that's about right. So I even ran a race at Knoxville, probably back in the 80s when I drove the 77 car. They used to have an outlaw race late in the year in Knoxville, like October.
Okay.
And we went out there one year. Tommy Sanders was working for us, and went out there with a big block car, and whooped him pretty bad that night.
Oh man,
At a 20, we knocked about 10 seconds off the track record, I think, 20-lap record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was back in the 80s.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's been a long time. I don't remember watching a big block in a sprint car.
Well, then we weren't allowed to run them. Then the World Outlaws outlawed them then the next year.
Well, they can't get beat that bad and keep that going.
That same year we went to I-70. They had a big race out there. That would have been about the year. I think Wolfgang was in the Gambler house car.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were going to beat him there, but then broke a shock off the car. So ended up, I don't know, second or third or something like that.
Yeah, running on 3 shocks. It always amazes me when you guys can drive them cars after crap is broken and start falling off of them.
Yeah. But I remember we were really fast that year. You know, didn't take that car out to Eldor, Knoxville, nothing like that. We just stay at home and run that car back here. But those couple of years, it was capable of winning, you know, most any place in the United States. But we had to stay home and run for points.
Sure. So, obviously that win at Knoxville over the Outlaws was a pretty big one, but do you have a race or 2 races that stand out in your mind, whether it was you won the race or you lost it on the last lap, or do you got a couple that stick out?
Well, there was a lot of them, you know. I don't know. Won a big race in San Jose with the Coors Extra Gold car, an outlaw race back in the probably late 80s, you know. Of course, back then a big paying race was 12 or 15,000.
Yep.
But well, I even ran Gilly's car, the 47 car, Casey General Store car.
Okay.
Won a race at Santa Maria out of California. Ran that car for a while on the outlaw circuit, back when Gilly was running the outlaw deal.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've I've got to see a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you've covered the whole country, that's for sure.
Pretty much so, yes. So.
What
Go ahead.
what would you say are some of your favorite tracks? Maybe a couple in Pennsylvania, but then other places you've been.
Well, I liked. I never had any luck at Knoxville. Every time I go to Knoxville, I just never had any luck in the big races in Nashville. I ran in the top 10 a couple times, but just never had any luck there. Eldor never won any of the big races there, but ran third in the first big one, the 100,000 to win. Ran a couple. I think I ran fourth or fifth in Gilly's car at Kings Royal. So I like going there. I like a lot of these tracks back home here too. So.
Yeah. Well, obviously Port Royal was good to you if you got 13 track championships.
Yeah, I think I had 129 wins or something like that. Hell, they even took one away from me.
Uh-oh.
We got to hear that. Why did they take it away from you?
Took one away from me. I was driving the 880 car, Roy Morrill's car, and put a slide job last lap on Paul Latier. He was running the Wolf Dyer, the 461 car.
Oh, yep.
and, I don't know, they said I bumped him a little bit, and I went on each lift, and I ended up winning the race, and when I went to victory lane, they said, now, you're disqualified, so.
Well, shit.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, nowadays it doesn't happen hardly ever.
No.
Oh, you know.
But, so, what are you doing nowadays? I know you're retired, but.
Just retired and watching the races on TV now. I'm actually on the fair board, over Port Royal, so I go over there and work a lot. To do a lot of the improvements we've been doing. I've been working over there probably for 6, 8 years, 10 years now, so that keeps me busy and out of trouble. So,
Yeah.
Well, I think they told me I could find you in the t-shirt shack over there.
well, that's what my wife does. She does the t-shirts, so
Yep.
I basically help during the week with all the projects we're doing, you know, do a lot of the work over there. So I told them I didn't want to work race nights, I'm going to watch the races. So
Yeah.
Never got much of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always had to race them. So, how old were you when you raced your last time?
Oh, that would have been in 2013. I would have been 63.
Oh, okay.
So I was an old guy then. So, but that was the last year I've raced. So I've been retired for probably 11 years now.
So did you run the full season then that year yet, or just a few shows?
Yeah, just probably the last couple of years I just raced the Port Royal on Saturday night.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was enough. It was time to slow down.
Yep. Yeah, we got one gentleman out here, old Chuck McGilvery. He's still running. He's 70.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah,
then,
that's good. It'd be hard to do that.
oh yeah, but he's still getting her done.
I don't think I'd get up here to drive one anymore.
How much do you think Chuck weighs? 110?
Oh, yeah, Chuck ain't very big.
He is the littlest dude ever.
Okay.
Well, then there's that gentleman from up in North Dakota too that just started a couple years ago in that 78.
Yeah.
He's not no spring chicken either.
No.
I can't say his name though, because we're good with names, bud. You know, I screw them up pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've heard Chuck race just about every place. Most all the tracks, the Outlaws race out and the All-Stars. So, you know, I won, I guess All-Star Speed Week. I won that back in the mid-'80s. Won Pennsylvania Speed Week one year. I don't remember when that was. Western PA Speed Week won that one year. So that would have been in maybe the U2 car, All-Star car. So I've been all over the place.
Been all over the place and done well with it.
Well, yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun.
You even did a little, like, was it USAC or Silver Crown or?
I did a little bit of that, yes. Silver Crown car, I won a race at Nazareth, when the big mile track at Nazareth. I won a race there. Finished 5th in the Hoosier 100 one year, rookie the race. That was the last year, I think, that A.J. Foyt ran a dirt car, so I got to race against him actually at the Hoosier 100. So that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
So, did a little bit of everything once. Never won too many USAC races. Grand Eldora was a non-wing car. One year won an outlaw race at East Bay. A non-wing show with a big blocking car.
Oh.
So that was something different.
Yeah. Well, you know, while the big cars, the big wing cars are wingless are different anyhow. Because how did Jack Hewitt? We had him on the other day. How did he say it? Somebody asked him one time, some younger kid, how to drive one of them. And what did Jack say? He told him to go to the bar and find yourself a big gal. And when you get all done, it's a little different and doesn't feel quite the same, but it's still fun in the end or something, how he worded it. So,
Jack Kaiser, yeah.
so
As soon as you said Jack's name, he started laughing. I don't know why that was, Keith.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, did you ever get the chance to go to Australia or anything like that, or no?
Yes, yes, I did. I went over there, year 2000. That centennial year. Yes. In Perth, I went to the western side in Perth. I went over there with Donnie Schatz and Kenny Jacobs' brother, Dean.
Okay.
And then I went back the next year with Paul McMahon.
Oh.
And I were there. So, yeah, I won a race over there at Kalgoorlie. If you watched that race this morning, there was a driver from Kalgoorlie at Perth.
Oh, I didn't get up in time to watch that, so that's my project when I get home tonight. That Australia stuff, we talked about that the other day. We had that Toby on with
Sprint Car Hub.
And we're talking to him at 8 o'clock at night here, and it's 11 o'clock the following morning at their place, and so.
Yeah.
But how hard can you remember? I mean, how hard was it when a guy got to Australia for the jet lag and all this and that? I mean, does it take a little time? I mean, did you race like the next day when you got there, or were you there a few days early?
Well, it was like 26 hours in an airplane. It was like 5 or 6 hours from here to LA. We flew from LA to Sydney was 12 hours. And then once we got to Sydney, Australia, we had to fly clean across to Perth.
Okay, yeah.
5 or 6 hours. It was a long. Yep.
Oh, that's crazy.
And you're a fairly tall gentleman from when I met you, so them planes aren't that comfortable.
No, when you set it in that long.
No. Doesn't matter if you're tall or short; they're not that fun and that long. But
yeah, I've gotten to do a little bit of everything and race about every place, So.
Well, if you've done Australia too, the only thing that leaves is New Zealand. If you never made it over there, but.
No, I never did go over there. But at Perth, in fact, one Larson won the money out last night.
Oh, great! Now I know who won the race. Damn it!
But actually, there the opening year, the first year they raced it, that was 25 years ago.
Huh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's real cool. Yeah.
It was a real neat place. Yep.
So some of the guys that we've had on back in the day, let's say the legends, have driven a car that maybe they shouldn't have been racing, like the floor plate was gone or something crazy like that. Did you ever do anything crazy that you wouldn't recommend when you look back at it?
Well, I remember one time at Lincoln, before they had an inside fence there, that would have been in Hamlin's car. Finished the heat race and hell, couldn't even see the car was on fire. I run it like a lap or two.
Oh, like the.
Flames, it burnt the fairways off my helmet.
Oh, damn.
Jesus.
So a fuel leak, I'm assuming then at that point, or?
Something, yeah. I think I ran over the infield or something and pulled an oil line off or something. Every time you get on the gas or off the gas, the oil line squirting oil and caught on fire, and I tried to finish the heat race. So.
Did you finish it then?
Yep. Yep.
And then made it out for the feature yet?
For the fire.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you make it out for the feature then, or did you have too many things burnt up on the car?
No, I think they got it fixed. I can't remember what we did, but I just remember because somebody took some pictures of that, and the fire was, you couldn't even hardly see me sitting in the car.
Damn. And the fire safety stuff has probably gotten a lot better since then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It has. Yes, it has.
Oh.
What'd you have on, a 2-layer suit back then, or?
Probably, yeah. But I had always wore all the stuff, so I didn't get burnt. But like I said, it burnt the fairways off my helmet.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
So, were they stuck to the visor then, or were you able to use that same helmet yet?
No, I think I had to put another shield on it, and put new fairways on it.
What was your worst injury, Keith?
Broken leg. Actually, I broke my ankle at Knoxville in Big Darrell's car, Darrell Social's car, number 20 car, at an outlaw show. So,
Just in a crash, or did the drive line come apart?
no, the car, bicycle going into turn one, got up on two wheels and bicycle, and brought it back down and hit the outside fence with the right rear tire. And that was before they hit the hoop over the drive line.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And that was before they hit that, and it just tore the drive line off the foot plate, smashed my leg up against the front bar inside. So they hauled me to the hospital there in Knoxville, and I had a bone sticking out of my leg.
Oh, damn.
They wanted to take me to Des Moines, to the hospital to operate on, fix it. And I said, no, I don't want to go there. And I ended up staying that night there, and then got a flight home the next day. They wrapped my foot up, and I flew home and got it fixed. My wife picked me up at the airport. She took me to the hospital here at Hershey Medical Center, and I remember asking me, he said, well, what happened to your leg? And I said, I was in a car wreck. And so they got me all patched up, but that's probably the worst thing that ever happened to me.
And then they're like, well, when did that happen? This morning? No, that was like 2 days ago. Been running around with this bone sticking out for 2 days.
Yeah, then they said, well, how fast are you going? I said, well, pretty fast.
That's a big half-mile track. She's fast.
Oh.
They always ask those questions, you know, how fast are you going? What kind of car were you in? I said, well, it was a pretty fast car, you know.
Yep.
So, they didn't put the thing.
Why is there dirt all stuck in this wound?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's probably the worst I've ever gotten hurt. That's the only bone I ever broke, so I was pretty lucky.
That's yep. 'Cause there's I've heard over the years, you know, different old horror stories from before they put them hoops in the drive lines, you know, and now there's other things on there too, you know, because them things would break and flop around in there, and you know, and that.
Well, they made that rule then after that happened. It was actually running with the world outlaw.
Okay.
They made it for then the next year.
So
They
that's
have to buy a strap for their in there with hooked on the drive lane. It was like a seatbelt.
Yep.
Special. And they did that, and then they made it mandatory the following year. So, and I was the cause of that, I guess.
yeah, the Kauffman rule.
Yeah.
But you know, well, that's where a lot of the innovation comes for safety is after something bad happens.
Yeah.
Well, usually that's the heck of it. That's,
You know.
yeah.
Now the big thing this year, I see there's a lot of different things for the seats now. Some sort of a shock absorber system in a seat that you can put in this year.
That would be.
Yeah, they did have a compression thing like that you set on that helped to absorb some of the shock. It was like a foam thing. It fits your body. You set it. You put this foam in it, and then you sit down in the seat, and then it fit around you. It fit around your butt and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, if the drive line did come up and hit the seat, you had a little bit of protection. So they keep trying to do all kinds of stuff now,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, because the cars haven't gotten any slower, I don't think.
No, that's for sure.
No.
So,
Do you think racing, sprint car racing right now is kind of back, you know, on top?
well, I think so. Especially back here in our area, we're lucky because we have so many tracks. And, you know, I'm from a little town, so there isn't a whole lot else to do. You know. So, but it's still going pretty strong back here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think the outlaws and high limit stuff, and the guys putting on these big races, it attracts a lot of attention. You know, they see all those big dollar signs, and, you know, 100,000 to win, you know, 250,000 to win this. That opens people's eyes up, and I think they're kind of anxious to go see what's going on. And
Yeah.
they are excited to watch.
Well, then with all this modern technology, you know, it's all over social media racing is, and you got Flow and Dirt Vision and
You got us on a podcast.
You got us on a podcast. There's S2F. There's, you know,
Talking to some old guy in Pennsylvania.
yeah, but enjoying the heck out of it.
Not an old guy, a legend in the sport, man.
Responsible for the Kauffman rule in the World of Outlaws.
You bet.
Well, hey, you know, we shouldn't make light of it, but your deal happening with the Outlaws has probably saved an awful lot of guys from the same problem.
Absolutely.
No, I'm for it. It's
Yeah.
a very good rule.
Yep.
Should have done it before that. But,
Yeah.
Like you said, it takes something like that. But
Yeah, it usually does. You know, nobody wants to add something to their car if they don't have to. You know, it's another expense or something else, and
right.
so they just move on, keep racing. It hasn't happened to me yet, so why do I need it?
That's right. But, the new seats and all the safety equipment, the cars are a lot safer than what they used to be.
Well, now you go and get fitted for a seat.
Yeah.
I'm sure with yours you ordered one off the shelf, and it just you'd stick foam in, I guess, to make yourself fit better, or were they fitted back then already?
Well, they were just starting all that kind of stuff. I used to deal with Butler seats, and they were into that kind of stuff. You know, the last probably last 10 years
Okay.
I was into the development.
Yeah. Well, if there's anything else that we haven't talked about, make sure you mention it at the end here. But otherwise, we'll hit you up with our rapid fire questions here, and we'll let you go for the night. So,
Okay.
what's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Chocolate marshmallow.
Chocolate mushroom. You a cat or a dog person?
No.
Do you have any hobbies other than racing? What's your hobbies nowadays?
I don't have anything.
Well, you go to the fairgrounds and you work there.
Yes, that's correct.
There you go.
Because I don't think that's ever a high-paying job to be on a fair board.
No, I got 3 part-time jobs, and 2 of them don't pay anything, 1 does.
How about a favorite movie? Do you have one of them, Keith?
Top Gun.
Top Gun. There you go.
Do you like the second one too?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just watched them both the other day again. They were on. One of them movies, when the old Top Gun comes on, you almost have to at least watch part of it when you run across it.
Oh yeah, they were neat. They were good movies. Yep.
Do you prefer snow or rain?
Snow.
If you're going to be stranded on an island, what type of music would you want to have along to listen to?
The oldies.
The oldies. There you go. Do you have a favorite place to go out to eat?
No, not really. I like hamburgers.
That's my go-to.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a burger. Is there a good burger joint in Port or not? One that you'd recommend for me when I get back out there?
Nothing special, but we can find one.
Okay. Because I get to come back again. He invited me back, so.
Big Trap burgers are pretty good.
Yeah, they had good food there. I won't argue that. That concession stand group that comes in there, you got a pretty good variety of food.
Yeah, they're real good. So, yep. Just, when I said I like snow, I worked for Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for about 17 years, plowing snow and doing road work. So that's why I said I like snow. I always like plowing snow.
See, you're the opposite of Toad. Toad does the
I've
same
had enough
thing.
of it. I work for the county here for the highway department. I've been there for 30 years now, and I've plowed enough snow. I don't care if I don't get to do it anymore.
I did the same thing for years.
Yeah.
Mowing grass, plowing snow, digging ditches, cleaning ditches, all that kind of stuff. So.
One thing out in Pennsylvania, where you're at, you don't ever have to worry about going in a straight line. You got to pay attention.
Up and down the mountains.
Yeah, we got all our roads are pretty straight here that I get to plow, but there ain't any straight.
Sounds
roads.
like Keith likes a challenge. That's what it sounds like to me. So.
The mountains, the curves.
I think this is you.
Okay, how about a favorite holiday, Keith?
Probably Christmas and New Year's. I like that.
Well, then you're having a good 2 weeks right now, aren't you?
I'm gonna skip
Yeah, I
that
like
one.
spending time with the family and seeing the grandkids and all that kind of stuff, so
Yeah.
that's kind of neat.
Got quite a few grandkids, Keith?
I got three, 2 boys and a girl.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I gotta tell people now I got 1 and 7/8.
It's getting closer, huh?
Yeah, anytime now. Daughter do it any day, but
Oh. How many speeding tickets do you have in your lifetime there, Keith?
How many
Speeding tickets.
feet? Oh boy, I got a bunch of them when I was young. Count them all in both hands.
well, that ain't the highest number yet.
No, I think Lance. No, I don't know.
Lance Dewey said he had 50 some. I thought, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but somebody said they could do a whole
They
side
could
of
cover
the
the wall
garage.
of the garage. So
Yeah, that was a long time ago when I first started driving. I like going fast, so I
There-
could get quite a few.
Well, then this next question might
Yep,
be good,
yep.
so.
what's the fastest you've ever driven on the highway or rode with somebody on the highway?
I had a Mustang, a Mach 1 Mustang with a big motor in it, and I think it would go about 130. So,
Where the heck do you find a stretch of road in PA to go 130 mile an hour?
that's the trouble, they didn't stay on the road very good.
Oh. What's your go-to drink or beverage?
Oh, I like Michelob Ultra or a mixed drink.
There you go.
If you had just won that Mega Millions that went out here yesterday for whatever that was, or Saturday for 1 point some billion dollars, is there a car, a pickup, a motorhome, or anything like that that you always wish you could have?
I think I'd buy me a brand new Chevy Corvette.
Oh, okay.
That would get you some more speeding tickets, Keith.
That would be the one I would buy.
There you go.
Yeah,
Is
see-
there a color?
Red.
Red, okay. So did you buy a ticket from Knoxville at the museum down there?
No, I didn't. No, I haven't been to Knoxville for I don't know how many years.
Yeah. I always
I've been there.
see. I'm not into cars anymore. I like pickups or something. I always joke if I could win that Corvette at Knoxville, I'd just drive to Des Moines and trade it off for a pickup and then take the pickup home.
Well, that's what I drive. I drive a pickup too, so a Dodge pickup.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
But you always got to have a toy somewhere.
oh yeah, I had an older Corvette, but I just sold it, so now I have to look around for something else.
What year was that one?
It was 2007.
Oh, okay.
Silver one, black convertible top.
Okay. I was thinking older. I was thinking hoping you had one back in the 60s because I like them better than the newer styles.
Well, the older ones look neat, but they don't drive very nice.
No, they're not going to drive or ride as nice as what them new ones do. I'm sure of that.
The new ones are fun to drive.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
The old ones you own them because they're old.
That's right.
Well, Keith, we really appreciate you taking a little time out of your day to talk to a couple guys from Iowa, and we just really appreciate the chance of hearing some of your stories.
Well, it was fun talking to you guys. So hope you have a good time with the next guy that you have on the show.
Oh, I'm sure we ain't had a bad time yet. So, and I will definitely we get out there again for the Weichert Memorial. I'll have to find you and say hi and thank you again. So.
Okay, you do that. So good seeing you guys and talking to you.
Yep,
All right,
you
thanks
take
a lot.
care, Keith.
Okay, see you.
Yep,
Bye.
bye. Rick Fritz, he's going to have his wife, Sue, send us a new logo for your thing up top, bud. That's what one of the comments I had.